Ghost Recon Breakpoint. A game with a lot of potential, but Ubisoft seems to keep on screwing up. I want to talk about this game today and how I think it should improve what I think Ubisoft is doing with this game, and also on the recent patch and update of how they have improved it in ways that I enjoy. I will also go into depth about the new classes and also talk about the older games compared to this one. Now this video is going to be separate from a video that I'm going to make about Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands, because I feel like these videos are two different games and two different stories of their life cycle. So first of all, let's talk into depth about Ghost Recon Breakpoint. One of the main issues I have with Ghost Recon Breakpoint is its game structure. It tries many things all at once, and I feel like what Ubisoft is doing here with Ghost Recon, they're using Ghost Recon Breakpoint as a test zone or a test game for the next Splinter Cell. As you can tell from the most recent Splinter Cell Blacklist, Ubisoft has been going out of the stealth area when it comes to gameplay, and Ghost Recon, while it focuses on stealth heavily, they're also trying to add that element of just run and gun, which I don't think is working at all. I mean, it adds a new playstyle to the gameplay, but it's not really enjoyable. Often you'll find yourself feeling that the gameplay feels kind of crunched and compact into like two major options that they're trying to force upon you both at the same time, which is either run and gun, like I mentioned earlier, or stealth, which really sucks, because this game has a lot of potential. While Wildlands wasn't the perfect game, I feel like it was a pretty strong game overall. This game has failed in so many ways, and it just feels like Ubisoft doesn't really care. Like, obviously they're gonna put out patches and updates to add more content, but it just feels like they don't care about the overall game or the community. The only reason I bought this game, as a matter of fact, was to play with my friend Tree, because he wouldn't stop telling me to buy this game, which was a total waste. I wasted $60 on this game. I should have just waited until it went on sale, I know, but he kept on begging, so I said to myself, why not? It's a new Ghost Recon, it can't be that bad. And boy, was I wrong. This game feels like a whole different change from Wildlands, and in a bad way. It's like they tried something new, but didn't commit to it all the way. They're just, oh, let's try this out, but let's not fully commit. And that's not how it works. That's not how a game works. If you want something new and innovative, you're gonna have to commit to it. Let me use the DualSense as an example. Sony is going far out with this new controller, the DualSense, for the PlayStation 5. We haven't seen the console yet, but we've seen the controller and its color scheme. I personally didn't like it, but it's starting to grow on me, and Sony's putting all these features out and all this news, which makes it sound so good, but if they don't commit to it, it's gonna fail. It's not gonna go well. And I feel like that's something that Sony knows, and I feel like they're trying to innovate, but I don't know. Let's see how that turns out. But in this scenario, Ubisoft did not commit at all. They just wanted to spew out a new game as fast as possible. They just want to keep this series alive and going. They just don't want to let go of the Ghost Recon series, which is understandable, but you have to put more time into developing your game. I was so disappointed in this game the first time I played it. Of course I'm going to have fun with it. Of course I'm going to play it. It's a $60 game that I bought. I'm not going to just let it go to waste. And yes, I play this game with my friends, and as you can see here, just how buggy the game is. Like, I'm clearly shooting this guy, nothing's happening.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What? the fuck is that?
This is just one of the many examples that I face while playing this game. It's so buggy, and I fall through the world here. Another perfect example. I run into a ton of bugs, and a lot of the movement of my character, Nomad, it just feels like so clunky. They tried to make it fluent, and it didn't work at all. Him walking up a hill just feels so robotic and awkward. I think it was pretty stupid on Ubisoft's part where you always have to hold a gun, because a lot of the character animations just look dumb, especially like setting up a bivouac, which doesn't have to do with holding a gun, but it just looks so stupid. And your character's always doing some weird pose or always looks strange. And I know they're trying to make this look good. They're trying to add fluent motions, but it doesn't work at all. The gameplay combined with these bugs just make this game a horrible experience to play alone, unless you're somehow finding a way to make it enjoyable, which in this gameplay footage I did because I was trying to complete a mission. And I will talk about the storyline in depth on the next section of this video. But let me just summarize up the rest of this. So pretty much for the most part, the game feels buggy, it feels unnatural, it doesn't feel organic at all. It's boring to play unless you're with friends. As I said before, this game feels very unfinished and it still feels like it's in early phase of development, which is not a good sign at all. The story mode is a disaster. It's forcing you to go to all these places. It barely tells you why. Your helicopter gets shot down, yada yada yada, drones are taking over the island. You don't have any characters that you actually connect to. And that's one of the key main factors that you need to have in a storyline. You, as a person, need to connect to a character. Nomad feels robotic and dumb. He just feels like a big bum that walks around shooting people for no reason. In Wildlands, he felt the complete opposite. He had character. He's talking about his son. He was a character that had actual background and details, is the point that I'm making here. Nomad in this game, he just feels boring. He doesn't give any insight about his life, and if he does, it's just so lackluster. The writing's horrible also. You can catch a lot of cheesy phrases in this game. The lip movement doesn't match with the character. The lips look stupid when the character's talking in cutscenes. This game tries to display that it has stunning visuals, even though they're just mediocre. And while some things may look good, like the ocean, water, it's just not good enough. This game feels so unfinished. The boss fight is stupid. He just walks around and drones somehow magically deflect his bullets. It's like he's wearing armor, but it's invisible. On the boss fight, I had no clue what to do because the game didn't tell me. So I died at least 4 times. And then when I finally got it, you have to shoot the drones. I shot the drones and then I killed him so easily. There was no challenge. It was one barrier of defense. It was so simple. I completed it so easily. This game needs to actually step it up and play how a game should be played. I deleted this game because it was taking up 60 gigabytes of space, and I don't have that space on my PS4 anymore because I have to make space for games like Modern Warfare, which I will make a review on, like with Ghost Recon Breakpoint that I'm doing right now, and like the Watch Dogs series. But this game overall just feels really cumbersome, and it takes itself way too seriously. Like, if you're gonna if you're gonna be all serious and stuff, you gotta make some jokes here and there, laughing about yourself. Ubisoft still continues to support this game and plug it whenever they do, which feels like they don't even care about the player base. They just want players to play their game to get money, and that's all. They don't care at all. In Siege, you get somewhat of a sense of them caring and listening to the community. Here, there is no community. No one preferably would play this game over any other game that I know of, unless it's actual garbage and worse than this in every way. This game just feels so unnatural to play. It's so boring. The controls are weird. Your character moves weird. The storyline is boring. It feels so bad. Like, there's a part where the game tries to make you feel sad and empathize and sympathize with Maurice Fox's death for his kid, Harmony. But it's like, I can't sympathize with this kid because this kid is a brat. This kid is a bum. And her father knowingly went into this predicament knowing that it wouldn't turn out well for him. Even though he could have just waited for Nomad to get back and they could have done it together. And that's another thing this game has. It tries to make Nomad seem like he's the only guy. Even though there's tons of other ghosts on the island. And Holt has been sitting in his bed like a bum for the past 3 years while Nomad's doing all the work. Holt just stays in this bed, just sitting there forever. He doesn't move or anything. He just sits there. He never heals. I would really like to see buildings under construction, but they are actually built over a series of updates. That would be an interesting concept that I would like to see be implemented into Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Another thing that I feel like they're testing with, also, like I said earlier, they're testing mechanics for the next Splinter Cell. I feel like with the drones, they're testing mechanics for the next Watch Dogs. Since Watch Dogs currently is a bigger success than Ghost Recon, I feel like they're testing these drones out for the next game to try to balance them out. And I feel like instead of putting them into a game that has potential and ruining that game, maybe you should make an announcement like, hey, we're making these test servers for Watch Dogs Legion. Keep in mind that this game will still take a while after that this test is complete, but we just want some players to play on our test servers, kind of like Siege has for PC with their test servers. That would be a great idea. Maybe you should try it, Ubisoft. So far, from my knowledge of open world stealth, it doesn't work too well. It's not doing good. Open world stealth doesn't work good. I don't know if Ubisoft understands that. It's obviously not working with their past game. I mean, it was an alright game. It wasn't horrible by no means, but it's not doing super well. And it's like for this game, they just gave up, threw some futuristic crap in here, and they're like, enjoy this to the community player base when no one wants it. And if you guys are wondering right now why I sound like a bum compared to the last clip, it's because the last clip I was actually well awake, and in this clip I just woke up and I feel like a bum right now. So I'll record more clips when I'm awake, fully awake. So as you can tell, I don't sound as much as a bum anymore as I did when I recorded that last clip. And I'm just gonna go right into the next section of Breakpoint, because I really feel like it fails in 3 major sections. And I touched up on in this section, like the storyline, and in the last section, the game structure. And the third section will be... So like I said before, Ubisoft didn't really try with this game. They just kind of spewed it out because they felt like there was a lack of content. somehow. So they just rushed this game, and when I first got it, like I said earlier, there were so many bugs. There were too many to count. I was trying to clip them and record all of them, but I just realized that I'll just run out of storage space if I did that. Ubisoft needs to understand that when you release a game, you need to fix it before you release it. If you find or run into any sort of bugs while playing it, and don't just give it a scan and be like, oh, this is fine, I played it for 10 minutes. No, fully play out the game. Have someone play out the storyline and play like an average player would. Test it out before you release it to the public, because this game was not worth $60. Maybe 30, most likely 20. Pushing it is 40. But it is not worth $60. You need to test your game before you release it out. I expect the finished product when it's released onto the market. I don't want this half beaten to death game that has a lack of content and is filled with bugs. This game is so buggy and has literally no content, and I'm saying this now where an update just came out like less than a month ago with new classes, which I will talk about in a bit, and a second chapter, but that still doesn't make up for the lack of content that the base game has with its stupid storyline and its stupid plot that you don't even care about because it's so incredibly boring. My point is here, Ubisoft, is that you shouldn't release a product if you know it's not done. Try it out. Make sure it works. If it doesn't work, don't be afraid to say, hey, it's still in development. We're gonna work on this more. Don't hype up your fan base to the point where they lose faith in you because of how boring the storyline is and how buggy and bad the gameplay is. Focus on this game heavily, because right now it's flopping. It's doing horrible. This game is so incredibly bad, and while it has gotten better over updates, it shouldn't be like that where, oh, I'll just wait for the updates, it'll be better. When the game is released, it should be finished. That is the deadline. My expectations for Ubisoft are so low now because of this game. I can't even explain. But speaking of updates anyways, let's talk about the update that recently occurred. So we got, as some of you know, we got 2 new classes. We got the Engineer and the Echelon kit. And let me just say it now, I was wrong about the Engineer kit. I thought it was going to be good because it has this drone, and this drone looked good. It looked OP because Ubisoft has a tendency to overdo AI in their games. But this drone is horrible. It's so bad, and the enemy doesn't even focus on the drone like how the kit says. They focus on you. That's the issue here. The Echelon kit is really good. It's really great for stealth, which is its main focus, but it kind of throws away the whole purpose of the Panther. I guess the Panther is a less aggressive way of attacking in some sorts. Like, there's no purpose for the Panther. I mean, there was barely any purpose, first of all, but when this new kit, the Echelon, got added, it's just useless now. So it's like, why would you make a class that totally ruins another class? The purpose of making a class or adding content is to add something new, not add something that's already there but refine it, unless you're fixing bugs. I don't understand why Ubisoft did this, because the Panther is a complete trash can now, and it's completely useless. But I can't say much about the new kits. I mean, I played them. They're one's good, one's okay. Would I ever use the Engineer while playing? Probably not. Will I use the Echelon all the time while playing because it's really good? Probably yes, because I also have the Echelon pistol. Overall, this game, the content added doesn't make up for how buggy this game is. There's still various amounts of bugs in this game. I can't even list all of them because they're just so bad. And this, like I said before, this game takes itself so seriously, so it's really hard to like this game and convince your friends that it's a good game. I actually convinced one of my other friends it was to get this game because I wanted to play with them and Tree, and I regret doing that because I made them spend $60 on this game. Overall, if I were you, I wouldn't buy this game right now. It's not an experience you'd want. It's just so boring. I can't get over how dumb this game is. And I got persuaded into buying this game. It takes up too much space. There's a lack of content. The driving feels dumb and slippery and unnatural and bouncy. Overall, don't get this game. It shines most in stupidity. And that's because experience of me and my friends screwing around in this game, not actually taking it seriously. If you're gonna play this game, please realize that it's not a perfect game. It's more of the opposite. Anyways, that pretty much sums up this video. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching, all of you, if you watched this or not. I kind of rushed this video last second because I was like, oh crap, I don't have content. Oh well. There are going to be some announcements coming for the treehouse. I haven't given up on that. It's just I have a ton to do right now, and my main focus isn't these two channels. Anyways, this has been the Ghost Recon Breakpoint review video. Thank you for watching once again. I will come out with the Ghost Recon Wildlands reviewed video, and yes, I have the game. And I might come out with other videos too. I'm thinking of a Switch review video, like Nintendo Switch, because I have issues with that are annoying, and I also like it in many ways. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna put out some new content on the treehouse also. One of the main reasons why I haven't been putting out content on there recently is because I'm not gonna throw out content because Tree's trying to tell me to do all this crap and I'm telling him no. If we rush it, it's gonna be garbage. So I'm telling him I need a break because I'm not gonna throw out content. I don't want to confuse the viewers and watching 7 different things, and I don't want to force the viewers to watch our videos. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Goodbye.